WiseGuyBets here with some DFS picks for today, 8/20/2021. We're looking at the DraftKings main slate. We got 14 games on the slate, so we got a lot of games going on tonight, a lot of players to choose from. Tonight, I will bet 5% of my bankroll, 80% on cash, 20% on GPP. So let's get right into it at the pitcher position. At pitcher, I'm looking at Sonny Gray for Cincinnati. His projection for the night is 17.9. He has a 4.47 ERA. He's pitching around 5 innings per game. His average on the season is 15 over 18 games. His last three has been 17, 20, and 4, so he didn't have a good outing last game. His last 5 against Miami has been 0-0, 37, 20, 21. He's played well against Miami. I like him in this position. Again, Cincinnati's making a strong push for the playoffs, and everybody on that team has seemed to elevate their game. I like Sonny Gray to get us 20 fantasy points tonight at the pitcher position. Let's look at the catcher position. At catcher, I'm looking at Mitch Garver for Minnesota. His projection on the night is huge, 10.5. If he gets that, I'm happy. I'm real happy if he gets that. He has 13 homers on the season. He's batting .233. He's getting around 3 at-bats per game. His average on the season is 7 over 59 games. His last 3 games has been 2, 5, and 2. Not too good. He's 3,900 on DraftKings. He's 0 for 1 against the pitcher he's facing tonight. His last 5 against New York is 4, 4, 0, 10, 2. As I do a lot of nights, this position right here, I kind of just try to choose the most value for what I can get, and that's what I'm doing tonight. I'm not sure if Mr. Garver will get us 10.5 fantasy points, but if he do it 3,900, that is a win all the way around. So Mitch Garver is the player I'm selecting at the catcher position tonight. Let's look at the first base position. At first base, I'm looking at Jonathan Shoop for Detroit. His projection on night is 7.9 fantasy points. He has 18 homers on the season. He's batting .288. He's getting around 3.9 at-bats per game. He's averaging 8 fantasy points over 118 games. His last 3 games, fantasy point-wise, has been 8, 3, and 17. He's 4,300 on DraftKings, over 2 against the pitcher he's facing tonight. The over-under run projection in this game is 9.5. His last 5 against Toronto has been 0-8, 14, 0, 19. Really didn't like too much of what I saw at first base tonight. I thought Mr. Shoop can give me the best buck for my dollar here. So Shoop is the one I'm selecting tonight. I like his past games against Detroit. I like that he has a 49% advantage over the pitcher that he's facing tonight. So based on the numbers, Jonathan Shoop is who I'm selecting at first base tonight. Remember, use these players I select in GPP lineups, and you may be able to use a few in cash, but I suggest using them in GPP lineups, which is guaranteed prize pool, which is tournaments basically. Let's look at the second base position. At second base, I'm looking at Trey Turner. I went with Trey Turner last night. He gave me 13 fantasy points. His projection on night is 8.9, 18 homers on the season. He's batting .320. He's getting around 4 bats per game. He's averaging 10 fantasy points over 108 games. His last 3 games has been 8, 5, and 13. Batting leadoff, I like that. His last 5 against the Mets has been 17, 7, 0, 30, 13. Trey Turner is one of the most productive players in the lineup since Mookie Betts has been out. Trey has moved to the leadoff position, and he has been producing. So Trey Turner is someone I definitely want to get into my lineup tonight at the second base position. Let's look at the third base position. At third base, I'm looking at Diaz for Houston. His projection on that is 7.8 fantasy points. He has 7 homers on the season. He's batting .302. He's getting around 3.7 at-bats per game. He's averaging 8 fantasy points over 54 games. His last 3 games, fantasy point-wise, has been 2, 0, and 17. He's 4 for 12 against the pitcher he's facing. 4 singles, in 12 at-bats. His last 5 against Seattle has been 7, 7, 0, 12, 18. So he has good success against Seattle, and I like him in this position tonight. So Diaz is someone I'm definitely trying to get into my lineup at the third base position. Let's look at the shortstop position. At shortstop, I'm looking at Trevor Story for Colorado. His projection on night is 9.2 fantasy points. He got 16 homers on the season. He's batting .256. He's getting around 3.7 at-bats per game. He's averaging 9 fantasy points over 106 games. His last 3 games, fantasy point-wise, has been 11, 4, and 20. 5,400 on DraftKings. So if you select him, you got to know that he's going to take up a huge part of your salary. I really like he has a 70% advantage against the pitcher he's facing tonight. The over-under run total is 11.5. I like that. He can possibly get 5 at-bats. His last 5 against Arizona has been 7, 19, 2, 8, and 11. I like Mr. Story in this position tonight, and he's someone I'm going to try to get into my lineup at the shortstop position. Let's look at the outfield. In the outfield, I'm going with Aaron Judge. I went with Stanton last night. That came through. I'm going with Judge tonight. I think Judge will have a huge night against Barnes. But that's just my opinion. But I think the numbers say he will have a huge night against this left-hander. His projection on night is 9.2 fantasy points. He has 26 homers on the season. He's batting .283. He's getting around 3.7 at-bats per game. Over 108 games, he's averaging 9 fantasy points. His last 3 has been 4, 11, and 2. Last night, he just got a bases on ball, no hits. I think he bounces back tonight. His salary is $5,100. Again, he has a 37% advantage against his pitcher, according to Draft Dashboard. I really like the run total of 10.5. He can come to the plate 5 times. And his last 5 against Minnesota has been 0, 6, 21, 5, and 2. So those are my picks for tonight. Go ahead and hit that like button if my picks help you, and subscribe to my channel. That would be greatly appreciated, so I can keep producing these videos that I like to do. I try to provide the best quality videos that I can. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I hope you learned something from the video. And thanks for watching. See you on the next video.